Good morning, Falcons. We are talking about the independent animation project for exploring computer science. We are in Photoshop looking at the completed image, and you can see all the layers. You have two backgrounds, two characters, an object, and then I got this other guy up here. So I really have four things that I'm going to be able to move. I have two pictures of this one guy so I can have him do different positions, jumping and landing. And I have a motorcycle, and I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with this one. Now this image has already been saved, and now I'm going to bring it over to animate. So we're going to go into create new HTML5 canvas, which is what we always do. I'm going to go ahead and fit this guy in the window. And here in the timeline, I'm going to go to File and Import directly to the stage, and I'm going to go find that image. Here it is. Open. Now the computer is asking me something very specific. He's asking me if I want to bring in all the layers. And I do not want this layer right here. You can see the white background. I don't want it. So I do not have a check mark here. I only have a check mark on the layers that I want to bring in. I want to keep the registration of each one of these layers in the center. I'm going to come all the way down to the end and click Import. And they immediately line up in the timeline. Now they have the same names, so you may decide that you want to label them yourself. I do have a problem though, and that is everything is too big. If you look closely, you're going to see a black edge that identifies your screen. And so you can see that the characters are too tall. Everything is too tall. However, because they are all selected at once, and you can do this, if you unselect it, you can click on the first layer, hold your Shift key down, and select the last layer all in one column. You want to go to your tools and select the transform tool. Now you can see all of the layers at once and use your Shift to select them and squeeze them and move them into position. This guy didn't get into the group. Okay, I want to select them all at once. Select, Shift, click, turn the entire layer orange. Then you can move them into position and adjust them accordingly. The first step of the animation is to create two moving backgrounds. Double click. Okay, so we're going to turn off the eyeball on the layers with the motorcycle and the characters, and we're going to get down to the background layers. There's one, there's the other. All right, this is going to be our first animated motion. With only this layer selected, I'm going to center it on the stage, and I'm going to go out about 30 frames and place a keyframe. I'm going to bring my playhead to the end and move the image. 1:30. Make sure that it's lined up exactly the way you want it to be. 1:30. Now I'm going to select a frame in between, right click and select Create Classic Tween. Now my background moves. Okay, let's do the second background. We don't want this background to show up until after this motion is done. So we're going to pick up that frame and drag it to 31. Now we're going to go out about 30 frames. So let's go and insert a keyframe and move the image. Now, you don't necessarily have to move from left to right. You could do it the other way around. Let's have it start in this position in 1 and end in this position in 60. Okay, once again, select a frame in between, right click, and insert the classic tween. Control, test. The background moves. This is the end of stage 1, import and moving backgrounds.